I find myself here with
Diane Scherff.
And Diane, you're with the Republican Party of St. Johns County. What's your position with the party?
My position is Vice Chairman for the St. Johns County Republican Party, or the Republican Executive Committee. And I'm also starting up the Trump Club for St. Johns County, so I'll be president of that. And I was the president or the chairman for the Trump campaign when President Trump ran for office here in St. Johns County.
Now, the Republican Party has a big event happening in Ponte Vedra.
We do.
Could you tell me?
You need to come.
Yeah, the title of that event, the date of that event, and the time.
Okay. The title of the event is basically a fundraiser for the St. Johns County Republican Party. Our guest speakers are Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, and who is also a presidential candidate, and Representative Ron DeSantis, who is CD6 in North Florida. So both of them will be speaking about health care, about tax reform, about the state of our country at this point, and many other issues. So that event will be Friday, which is a week from today, Friday, October 6th, and it will be held at the Sawgrass Country Club. The VIP starts at 5:30, goes from 5:30 to 6:30. Then the actual event begins at 6:30 and goes until about 8:30, as long as we can keep Senator Cruz with us.
Is this the first time Senator Cruz is in this area?
Yes.
St. Johns County?
Yes, very excited.
I remember when Rick Perry was here.
Yes.
And DeSantis, of course, is a local boy.
Yes.
And so I talked to him before. Now, what's the goal of this event? Does it have a goal?
Absolutely. So the Republican Party is constantly trying to raise money. Why? Because we have elections coming up, and there's such a divisive feel that's going on both sides of both parties in the country, that it's very important that we find and groom and work with some good candidates coming up. We've got the governor's race in 2018, which is very close upon us, as well as other offices that will be available. We have Congress, other offices that will be open. So we do have to raise money, and we're working on that. So primarily it's to raise money for the Republican Party, not for the candidates, or for DeSantis or Cruz.
So to create like a war chest, that once you have a candidate, you can pull money from there to help them in their campaign.
Exactly. Because what people don't realize is we're 100% pretty much on donations. And so now I'm in charge of trying to build some fundraising events to educate the public as well as raise some money and to have some fun. You asked me why this particular event is perfectly timed, I think, for what's going on right now in Washington with Senate and Congress voting on massive bills such as tax reform, health care bill, Russia investigation, craziness going on. So what I tried to do, this was back in March, as I said to Congressman DeSantis, I would like to have an event with you. And originally I wanted to roast Ron DeSantis. And he laughed at that idea. And he goes, well, what if I get some of my buddies from D.C.? And I said, well, what about Senator Cruz? We would love to have him. Well, that's how it started, and he was a man of his word. He got Senator Cruz here, and we are thrilled to have him here to help us with this event. In the past, we did Sheriff Shore. I did kind of a dueling sheriff event in February at the airport in St. Augustine, and that was with Sheriff Shore and Rutherford, Congressman Rutherford.
Right.
So who are good friends, and the two of them were wonderful. They spoke for an hour and came, hit off of each other. We're kind of looking for the same thing here with Congressman DeSantis and Senator Cruz to kind of talk together about things.
Now, since this event is to raise money,
yes.
What does it cost for someone to go to this event?
The general admission tickets are $100 per ticket, and that includes dinner, the silent auction. No, we're not trying to be crazy. There's some events that are very high. Yeah, we're not trying to do that. Although it's a very nice dinner at the Sawgrass. We're doing a Texas-style barbecue in honor of Senator Cruz, and salad bar and other things. But So the general admission ticket is $100. The VIP tickets are $250, and that gets you in for the general, but it also gets you in the hour before the cocktail reception at the VIP, which will be a meet and greet with Senator Cruz and Congressman DeSantis.
And so that event again is the date?
Friday, October 6th. So a week from today.
Yes.
Friday, October 6th. Again, the actual event begins at 6:30. But if you can come to the VIP, please do, which will begin at 5:30 at the Sawgrass Country Club. And the address is 100 Golf Club Drive in Ponte Vedra.
Would you say, with the Republican Party having all these issues over those who support the health care bill and not, and I think this is the second one that is not successful, would you say that the Republican Party in St. Johns County is healthy, or are there issues between people who are maybe upset that they have not repealed old care?
Absolutely, great question. Two things I think we're at a standstill with the Republican Party in St. Johns County and all over. Is primarily the fact that you do have a lot of President Trump supporters that are not happy with the rhinos, if we will, in Washington, that are not only not supporting them, but are actually going against, worse than the Democrats, against to try to further President Trump's agenda. It's ridiculous what's going on, and it's not helping anyone. So we're getting a little bit of that backlash. We're also getting a little backlash on the fact that they're not voting for this repeal of Obamacare.
Cruz did not, right?
Right, and you know what's interesting about that, though, is the public is not being educated properly in the media about this, except for you, that it looks like Senator Cruz just didn't want to vote for repeal, which is actually absolutely ridiculous, because Senator Cruz, way back in the beginning, as soon as he took office, has tried to stop and repeal Obamacare. So it has nothing to do with not wanting to repeal. It has to do with some minor language that he had asked Graham and Cassidy to put in their bill. They said they would, they didn't. So the next morning when Senator Cruz and Senator Lee were going to vote, they noticed that what they had asked for, which was to help lower premiums for health care for all over the country, and they didn't have it in. They took it out. So what the public doesn't see is that side of it. It's not that they're standing up there going, no, we don't want to repeal Obamacare. Well, of course they do. But we have to look. They're not going to do something that is not right. So that's what we're finding. But the two of those issues, we have people that are writing me saying, oh, I don't know about this event. I don't know if I want to support Senator Cruz now because of this. You got to look a little deeper, folks. He is all about helping this country.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck in that event. Probably I'll be there covering it. And
you will.
So, well, thank you for that information.
Thank you.
I think that's what's always like misinformation. Thank you again.
Thank you, and I love your new show.
Thank you.